Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the BFFs podcast. Make sure you guys tap that bell, subscribe, and like the video.
Yes,
I guess I kind of took it all,
you
didn't I?
did. Well, let's get into the episode.
Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome back to BFFs. We have a very special guest. We have TJ, dumped from the villa straight to BFFs.
What's going on?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
We're good.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, we get to interview you right post show. It's an honor.
There
I
was
appreciate it.
a clip of you were on the Vile Files, and the first thing he said to you is, "Are you okay?
I'm good. I promise I'm good.
You're good." You just said that you're in LA for the first time ever. Who else are you with from the show, hanging out with?
Yeah. So this is my first day in LA. I'm staying with Austin and Charlie. I'm sleeping on the couch the next couple days.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. I gotta say, one of my favorite clips I think I've seen post show, or like when people come off the show and they're answering comments or they're going live. Probably one of my favorite clips actually of all time coming out of Love Island is you on live on your couch and you're sitting there looking and reading comments and you're like, "Oh, Iris got cracked. Shit. At least I gotta go camping."
Oh
Like
my
that might
God.
be an all-time favorite clip of mine.
Oh my God. I appreciate, honestly, I didn't know what that comment was saying until I read it. And like you could tell like halfway through I stopped reading it and I was like, shit. But yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
really
tough. I've been
know
there.
the
I've been
comment.
there. You read a live comment, you're not really trying to read the comment, and then you gotta go from there. It's a tough
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. And I'm not really good with social media and like I never was. So I'm just trying to get used to it and everything. That was like my first live ever too. So
Well, people are saying, I mean, me included, you're one of the funniest like contestants on social media after coming out of the villa. You're kind of crushing it.
which is crazy because I never would have thought that. Like I said, I'm so new to social media. So like this whole thing, this whole space is new to me. So I'm just trying to do my best. And I feel like I have a decent sense of humor and I'm just trying to like, show the audience that the people that like didn't get to see that on the show.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
Thank you.
So for like you, what was the reason to go on the show then? Because I know there's a lot of people that will go on the show, and there is the like fine love aspect, but I think there's a lot of people that go on the show and they go on and it's like, okay, my socials are going to get boosted. Like there were a lot
Yeah.
of semi-influencers or people that were already doing social media that went on the show this season. So if it wasn't a social boost for you, what was like the true reason you wanted to go on Love Island?
It was really because of like finding love. I feel like I haven't had the best dating experience. And I don't really love to date. I'm super picky. And like I thought this would be a great experience regardless. Like it's just a once in a lifetime opportunity. So it's like something that probably is never going to come around again. So it's like one of those things where I felt like I had to do it regardless. But also like the love aspect, like I just want to find that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely know what you're saying.
I think a lot of us thought you did find that person with Iris. I think you thought you found that person with Iris. So when you got dumped from the villa, I hate saying that. It sounds so dramatic, but when you got dumped from the villa, what was going through your head? Like, did you ever think, "Oh, maybe it could be a possibility Iris would leave with me or we could make this work?" Like, what was your feeling about Iris when you left?
Yeah, so I think in the moment, I was like completely stunned. Like people would say like sorry and like, this is a tough decision and whatnot. I just didn't really have any words because it didn't feel real to me yet. So like, now I've processed it. But also in the moment, yeah, I didn't really think about Iris leaving with me. Like, yeah, it was an option, but at the end of the day, like it's her experience. And I told her that like, hey, listen, I want you to go through with this because I don't want you to, have any regrets. You'll probably never get to do this ever again. And I just felt like it's her experience, not mine. And I wanted her to go through with it. So that was like kind of the conversation that we had. And, we agreed, or like, she said she was gonna wait a couple days and like think about it, whatever. But I told her like, hey, listen, like you're strong, you got this, and like I just want you to go through with it. And that's kind of like where we left off. But throughout the whole process, I always thought like, would this work on the outside? And I always thought it would. Like we had the same, morals, values, the same, we want to get the same things out of life. So we just connected on that level. And Yeah, it was tough leaving, but what are you gonna do at the end of the day?
Yeah, yeah. I gotta ask, have you watched any of the show since leaving?
So I've watched, I didn't watch last night's episode, but I've watched the last few episodes since I left.
Okay.
And I haven't watched the ones that I was in because I feel like it's so weird watching me on
Watching
TV.
yourself on TV?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, even your response you just gave, I had said to Bree on last week's episode, it felt like to me, you and Iris were like one of the only two people and the only couple that went on that show and were just about building a relationship and building a connection and falling in love ultimately, because everyone else was always in the drama. And with that, it seemed like I was like, yo, where's my TJ? Where's my TJ screen time? What's going on here? Like, why are
Yeah.
they, they're cutting to all the drama throughout the show. And I'm like, yo, put that guy TJ back on the screen. This guy actually gets the point of the show.
Yeah, I think me and her were just super unproblematic and like drama free. And not that we didn't care about what the hell was going on, but it was like a bit childish to us. And like we were just like in our own world. And I
Mm.
appreciate that. And I'm super, drama free and I don't like that shit. But um yeah, I haven't watched everything back, so I don't know what they showed of me, but I've heard that it's not a lot. And I'm not mad about it. I think I went about it the right way, and like that's all I could ask for. Um, but yeah.
You say, and you guys were clearly because they didn't show you a lot. There wasn't a lot of drama with you and Iris, but
Mhm.
as viewers, we've been locked the hell in on the show. It comes off as like a very drama-filled island. Like people are always going at each other, and of course it's a show and we don't get to see all of it. But when you're in the villa, was there tension? Did it feel like there were drama between like Huda and Shelly and the girls or like the guys? What did it actually feel like living in there, or was it just kind of dramatized for us viewers?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you guys only see like a few percent of what actually happens. But I would definitely say that waking up, for example, after the postcard night. I felt like there was a lot of tension. I didn't know who to talk to because I just felt like everybody was on edge. But some like days like that, yeah, definitely. I feel like majority of the time everybody gets along and everyone speaks their mind. And I felt like like everyone was having a good time. We were all super genuine and just being ourselves. So I never looked at it as like, oh my God, everyone's always in drama. But there was definitely a lot of days where I was like, oh shit, like what is going on? And I was kind of out of the loop sometimes, like that postcard night. I was looking around like I didn't know that happened. And I think Iris was kind of like in the same boat, but yeah, but there was definitely some tension.
Were there any guys that you felt you didn't really connect with in the villa, or that you probably wouldn't be friends with outside of it? Or do you think you guys kind of all got along well?
I think I didn't get the chance to really get to know the Casa boys as much. We only had, a handful of days and they were like in their own group and stuff. But, I'm here with them now and they're all great people. I think all of the OG guys that when I came in, they were all super welcoming and like, that's all I could ask for. And there's nobody I didn't get along with, to be honest. There's people that I was closer with, like Pepe, Nick. But yeah, Pepe, Nick, Austin. But like there's nobody that we didn't connect with, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, to hear you say you were closest with Pepe.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
like,
little like,
ah.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough seeing it because,
Mhm.
I'm human, but
mm.
um I just remind myself that, he's there for himself and like I don't expect him to do anything for me. Like I'm out of there. If I was in there and he was doing something, even then, it's Love Island, like this is his experience and that's what you're supposed to do. So I can't blame him at all. And I have nothing bad to say about him. And I never would say anything bad about him.
Did you expect him to stand behind you?
Yeah, I really did. I'm pretty sure in that episode you could see like the smile on my face when he's walking up to me, and then he kind of goes around me and says I'm sorry, and like my head drops, and that shocked me just because like throughout that day, again, I don't know what they've shown, but throughout that day he was just like praising Iris and I's relationship and how good she was, how good of a like couple I was, I guess. Um, and so I was like really expecting him to stand behind me. And, when he didn't, it hurt. But I just hope that in his mind at that time, like that was he thought that was the right choice. And, as long as he thought that, I'm all right with it.
Do you think it was fair, or do you think because Taylor, I don't know how to say it without sounding like a hater because I might be a little bit of a Taylor hater just from the beginning of all the Alandria stuff, but do you think that everyone that stood behind him should have stood behind him? Like, what do you think about Sierra standing behind him?
So I think the biggest shocks for me to were Pepe and not Austin, Pepe and Sierra, just
Hmm.
because Sierra was so close to Iris. We would go on double dates with Nick and Sierra, but I still expected Nick and Ace to stand behind Taylor. Like I
Yeah.
just assumed that was gonna happen, just based off of like friendship. Um, but I think Huda also shocked me with Iris standing behind Huda that one time, saving her over Jalen. So there was just a few that it just didn't really make sense to me. But I think Sierra shocked me the most and definitely shocked Iris because she couldn't believe it. She was like, "Well, none of my friends stood behind you. Like, this is crazy." And I agree.
Do you think that they were following Ace? Like, did it actually feel like Ace was kind of the ringleader in the house, or like kind of what he said everyone would follow behind?
I don't think it was like a ringleader thing. He definitely had a strong opinion. Everyone like took that into account, but like at the end of the day, everyone makes their own decision. And like I said, they probably take it into account, but I don't think they base their votes solely off of him. But he definitely has a strong opinion.
Yeah, because they very much like the perception on the outside of the villa for all us viewers is like Ace is very much the guy that's, stirring the pot. He's a little bit of a shit disturber, and he also has like very strong. It seems like whenever he has a decision made, a lot of people in the villa tend to follow it. Is that more of a editing thing that's going on, or is there some truth to that it actually on this show?
I would say there's some truth to that just because I feel like since the jump, those guys, like I came in as a bombshell, obviously, but those guys
Yeah.
were super close from the jump. So coming into that, like those guys have their own opinions on everything. And I think that they kind of really stick together. Not that we didn't have conversations and we couldn't, discuss things, but I think that he did have a strong or does have a strong opinion. And people take that into account. But I don't think like, he makes a decision, everyone listens. I don't think so. But yeah, he does always speak his mind. I feel like, um, that's always shown.
You were just talking about coming in as a bombshell. How how nervous were you coming in with Meg the Stallion?
So I thought I was coming in alone and I was shaking. And then I found out like I was coming in with Andrina and then Megan Thee Stallion was coming. That made me even more nervous when I heard that. But you can't see in the episode, but I was shaking, like my legs were shaking standing next to Meg. And it was just super nerve-wracking. I didn't know what to do, who to talk to. Like it was just super nerve-wracking, but I got through it and it was a fucking great experience.
How close to it do you find out that you're walking with Meg the Stallion? Did they tell you right before, or did you know a little bit beforehand?
So they told me it was a special guest, and then they probably told me like an hour or two beforehand, and then they had me do like the walk-in shoots with the camera following me, and she was like in front of me getting her makeup done, and she kept looking at me, and I was like really distracted. The producer was like telling me to like walk this way, and I'm like, what? Like they're like, TJ, like you good? Like you good? And I was just like looking at Meg. Yeah, like a couple hours before.
Wait, how? I always wonder this. This is just kind of a silly question, but how awkward are those shots that you guys have to make? Because you have to do all these like sexy walks. You have to like touch yourselves. Like, how long do those take and how often did you have to do them?
Um, I don't know. They were all right for me. Like the first few were nerve-wracking. Like
Yeah.
everyone watching you, there's a whole crew. You got to do it like 10 times. And so that was super nerve-wracking. But once you do it a few times, like you get over it. And everyone's like everyone doesn't care. No one's judging you. So
Yeah.
I think that's like what I was more worried about. Like, oh, how do I look? Like, what do these people think? But nobody cares.
I know we have limited time, but we do have a lot of questions we want to know. We want to make sure we get them all in. But
Yeah.
I think what everyone wants to know and everyone's freaking out about is in the challenge where you guys all had to dress up, the heart rate challenge.
Mm.
Did Huda sit on Ace's face? Did they cut something that we're not seeing?
Did she sit on his face? I feel like I'm like I didn't watch the episode, so I don't know what they showed, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure she did not sit on his face. I think
Ah.
that she did go a little overboard with the challenge, and I think a lot of people didn't like that. But I also think that Huda didn't mean it in a malicious way, and she's always known for going hard in challenges. But I think some people took it as like it's getting late in the season and like this is my man and you're going overboard with it. And I think that's where the disconnect was.
Do you think, okay, so clearly everyone freaked out about that for Huda, in the villa. Shelly was freaking out. People thought it was disrespectful. And then now we kind of fast forward and Sierra left the villa and Alandria immediately with Nick, but it's just kind of not talked about. It's like whatever. No one's saying that maybe that's not a girls thing to do. What do you think about Nick and Alandria together?
So I think it's okay that Landry is exploring it being Sierra's friend just because it's Love Island again. Like it's a completely different world than the outside world, and I hope like in real life she wouldn't do that. But I feel like in Love Island it's okay, and I love Landria, and I love Nick too. Like I think he's the best. Do I think it's like super real? I have no idea. I feel like now that Sierra is gone and Taylor's gone too, that they could really like focus on each other and like figure it out without any like distractions or like Sierra and Taylor watching. So I hope it's real, I would like to think so, but I know they tried it before and didn't really work out. So that's the only thing that's a little sketchy to me. I don't know.
I don't think it's real.
No.
I don't think. I feel
Yeah,
like,
that was our guess.
yeah, me and Josh, we really said that you and Iris felt like one of the only real couples, and it seems like everyone's scrambling to win at this point. And I hate to even say it, but Iris and Pepe, just because I'm saying it to you, but Iris and Pepe do seem like, I don't know, they could be good in the outside world. I like to look at it in that sense.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on Amaya and Brian?
So I love Amaya. Amaya's like she's so funny and I think she's hilarious. And just like very misunderstood. Brian, I like honestly, I really didn't get to talk to him much, but I think he's a good ass guy and they look good together. I hope it's real and I hope like, they both genuinely have feelings for each other and they genuinely want to be with each other and it's not just like, all right, you're here and you're the only person left type of deal. But I like them. I think if anybody was to probably win, it would probably be them, to be honest.
If you could give the money, TJ gets 100 grand to give to his winning couple. Who are you picking?
I would give it to I would give it to me and Iris back in the day, but no, probably
Good pick. Good pick.
Amaya and
Good pick.
Brian.
Amaya and Brian.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. When you were ultimately having to choose between Iris and Vayna, like how quickly did you know the decision was Iris? Was it all the time Iris? Was it like something that you had to have a couple of conversations, or where was your mind at?
So my mind with the whole experience was like, I'm just gonna be present and like try to immerse myself in this crazy experience. So when I was in Casa, I did my best to like try and not think about Iris over in Casa. That was obviously hard and she was always in the back of my mind, but I went into it like I'm gonna give these Casa girls the best like chance to get to know me and I don't want to, take that experience away from them. Um, I think that my first conversation with Vanna went super good, and there was a lot not shown after that that just led to like my final decision. But I think after like our last conversation that day, I knew where my head was at completely. and I was okay with like going home, and I knew that, and I just didn't want to fake something with Vanna and just stay because
Mm.
you could tell like I just didn't really vibe with her towards the end at all, and I saw her last night. She's a great person, and we just didn't get along romantically, but it was it was like always Iris.
It was always Iris.
This is why I'm Team TJ.
Let's go, Josh.
Bree might be over there, cheering on Pepe, but
But I'm
I'm all
cheering on
TJ.
Iris.
I'm all TJ over here, dog. I'm all
Let's
TJ.
go,
When
Josh.
I get back to LA, we'll all hang. All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
There we
I'm
go.
excited.
There we go.
I do have one more question. It's also kind of stupid, but I'm so curious. So you and Iris, you guys like went camping, but you left the room, so you didn't do
Yeah.
it inside the room. What is it like? Do you hear people having sex all night in the room together? Is it quiet? Do you know what's going on? Do people actually have sex? Like, what's the deal with that?
So yeah, people definitely have sex. I feel like for me, I was like so tired every day. And like when I finally got to bed, I just knocked out. So I really didn't wake up and like hear people. But like every morning people would be like, "Oh my God, like did you hear like, blah blah blah." And I'd be like, "No, I'm sleeping." But yeah, they're definitely under those covers, not holding hands.
Getting nasty. Do you think you were correctly perceived on the show, TJ?
No, I mean, I'm like an introvert. I have like that extrovert side of me, but I'm more quiet than not. I feel like a lot of the clips they showed of me were super awkward, and like people come up to me on the street like, "Yo, you're actually like a good guy, like you're cool." And I'm like, "Oh, like maybe I have to watch these episodes back." But what are you gonna do? They didn't show me much, and I think that's why I was in the bottom three. I don't think that people disliked me. I think it was just more of we didn't get to see TJ, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anyone like couple right now that you don't think should be a couple?
Currently,
Yeah.
mm,
Or you
I,
think they should have ended with someone else maybe or be with someone else?
yeah, I think I need to think about this one.
It's kind of hard. Well, who do we have? We have Ace and Shelly.
Yeah.
We have Alandria, Nick, Huda, and Chris, and then Pepe and Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? And Maya and Brian, sorry.
Right. Yeah. I think Brian always wanted to speak to Jaden, and I thought like they had like a good connection. But like that never happened. She got kicked off that night. That's kind of like why he voted for her. So I was interested in seeing that. But I don't know. I think Chris was very interested in Shelly, and I thought that could possibly work out. Um, I know Shelly and Ace have been together for a while, and I think that
Like how long? Like before the villa?
I mean, I didn't know that. I thought they just, knew each other from the outside, but supposedly word on the street is they were together. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
That's just word on the street.
word on the
Yeah.
street.
I'm just hearing that through the grapevine. There's whispers going on.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that, so
So TJ is officially confirming that he heard they were dating before the show. That's
no,
what's up.
I did not know.
They saw them on a date 3 years ago.
No,
TJ
I don't
says
know if
that
they were
he's seen them
dating.
dating.
No, all I know is that they knew each other beforehand. I see what you're doing, though.
Romantically, they've known each other beforehand. I get it. Hey.
I see what you're doing.
TJ said it. TJ said it.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Why weren't you invited to Vanna's birthday party?
I was, but I couldn't make it. I was with family, and I just flew
Oh.
last night. So, or like,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, I thought there was beef, but I guess you said you saw her, so there's no beef.
No, there's no beef. There's
That's
no
good.
beef. We talked last night. It was all chill.
All right. Well, this was awesome. I could
Yeah,
ask
this
you
was great,
questions
man.
about the villa all day long.
I would
Yeah,
answer
sure.
them all day.
Wish we had a little bit more time, but maybe I'll get some good inside scoop stuff when we link in LA.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. This
All
is
right.
awesome. I had
I've
such
already
a good
talked to
time.
Austin too, so we'll get all the guys together.
Oh yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Hell
That'd
yeah.
be sick.
Hell yeah.
Feeling left
That'd be
out, but okay.
Sorry,
I
Bree, you're
can
all the way in
join
New
too.
York.
Ah,
I guess if you make the flight, you can come hang.
okay. Thanks, boys.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you, TJ.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh my gosh, you look so pretty. What the hell?
Thank you. You're so
welcome.
pretty.
Thank you. Okay, are we good, guys?
I'm also here though too. I'm also here.
Okay, we're here. We only have limited time, so we want to get all of our time with you. We have Jaden from Love Island, USA. How are we feeling? How are we doing?
Good. I'm happy. I'm overwhelmed for sure. Excited to talk to you guys. I am in
Yeah.
LA right now, but still living in Seattle, and it's been really fun and cool to see a lot of the people.
It seems like everybody goes to LA right after the show wraps. Like that was the same with the cast last season too. Is this something that like Love Island tells you guys to do, or do you guys just all want to go hang out post show and you're like, oh, let's just all go to LA?
I think we all just want to hang out post show, and
Yeah.
the majority of the cast I feel like always lives in LA, so it's just the most convenient.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Have you seen Austin in LA yet?
Mm-hmm.
Barely. I saw him last night, but it was like a really short interaction, unfortunately, because it was so late. I had to go. I had to go home. It was and that was really nice, but I think we had a discussion just about us both being super overwhelmed with the whole process, and I think we definitely want to still explore, but I think we both are planning to like come back to each other when things have like calmed down a little bit.
Okay, so you guys want to explore each other, or you're exploring other connections
Yeah.
outside of the villa?
Outside of the villa, you pulled them for a chat and talked to them about this.
Yeah, I pulled him for a chat last night.
Nice.
That's so funny because that's actually what I said.
The lingo sticks for a bit, eh?
It does. Yeah, I think we both just like, I don't know. I had no social media presence or anything before. I'm not sure that he did either. So I think just we are both extremely overwhelmed and not really even sure like what we're doing right now. So like with our own lives. So I think we're trying to figure that out before we take anything too seriously like together. But we're both still very interested in each other.
Okay, I like that. That's a
Yep.
mature way to go about it.
That's
And
good.
do you think
I'm trying.
do you think you're overwhelmed because maybe are like a lot of people sliding in your DMs now?
You know, I haven't even looked.
No way. You haven't even looked?
No, no. I feel like I'm so overwhelmed, like scrolling, like it just doesn't end. And I've like never seen that in my life.
So there's not like
So-
not one username, maybe with like a blue check that stood out in the DMs.
No, like I haven't looked at all, like genuinely. I think being dead serious.
I'll believe you. I'll believe you.
She's still
My
caught up. She's
friend
still in Love
doesn't-
Island.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
sorry.
feel like if it wasn't for few of my friends, like I don't even know. They've helped me like you need to post, like I feel like my friends were always telling me to post before Love Island, otherwise I wouldn't. So I think it's just a lot. I'm like trying to be better at social media now.
When you guys go onto the show, like someone runs everyone's account for them. Is that something that Love Island tells you guys to do? And how did you pick someone to run your account for you?
I think they definitely recommend it, but not everyone. It's optional. Not everyone does it. It was honestly a hard decision. At first, I just thought, okay, mom, you got this. And I tried showing her how to put a song on like a photo on Instagram, and she couldn't. She was so confused, and I was like, okay, this is not gonna work out. I was like, I don't think I'm trying to teach her about hashtags, and I was like, yeah, I think I gotta pick somebody who knows what they're doing a little bit more. And I picked my friend who's just really good at social media.
Yeah, she crushed it. Do you think she did a good job?
I do. Especially from like what I've seen. I haven't seen all of the episodes yet. And I don't think like I think with what she was given, absolutely. I think she crushed it. Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with the show post like you exiting? Like, have you been watching episodes like after you? Have you watched any of the episodes with you on? I know you said you hadn't watched like all of the show yet, but what have you watched?
I've watched, I think the first three to four episodes I was in, and then I have kept up with the show through social media. I do want to watch it, especially now
Mm.
being friends with everybody. I want to see it, but I just haven't had time.
She's LA busy girl. She's getting straight. She doesn't
Yeah,
have the time.
she's pulling Austin for chat. She doesn't have time to watch the show.
And there's no Peacock in Fiji,
Oh,
Well,
which
true.
is so ironic. But yeah, I feel like I could have caught up there if it were available.
Mm.
How long do you have to stay in Fiji after you're dumped from the villa?
I think everybody is different, but most people do after sun. So you get dumped and then you go back to the hotel until after sun. And you don't get your phone back yet. You don't get any. Everything is basically the same as it was before you went in the villa until you've done after sun.
Okay. And how long were you in Fiji before you entered for Casa? Were you there from the beginning of the show, like waiting in a hotel?
No, I actually went in the very beginning with on like the very beginning, and then they flew me home and said we might fly you back. And I wasn't sure that was actually going to happen or not. And but then they did end up flying me back for Casa, obviously. So I didn't have to wait in the hotel too long.
Oh, so when you originally flew there, did you think you were like going to be one of the OGs on the season?
I did.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting. So they must be like last minute picking who they want the cast to be.
Yes, it's very last minute. I feel like they changed their mind like every day leading up to the first day of filming too.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably thinking about who would even be good connections in there, or like what's going to fit and who would be a match. But oh my
Mhm.
God, I would be so sad if I flew there and they were like, you're leaving. You're not, you're going home.
I know, and I think unfortunately that happens more than you think. I think that happens to a lot of people. So when they told me, "Oh, we might fly you back," I was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be back here."
That is tough. Who when like you oh sorry, my bad. Someone wait, Bree, can I pause for someone? Someone keeps knocking on my door.
Yeah, I'll talk.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
Wait, I wonder who's knocking on his door.
That's so
He's in
random.
Cabo. He decided to just go to Cabo this week.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he's having fun.
Yeah.
And he's back.
All right, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm in my own villa right now. Um,
Wait, I want to talk about you actually being in the villa. So you coming in, you're a Casa girl. You have to do like all the crazy makeout challenge in the beginning. You're there, you're with the boys. Did you have your eye on anyone immediately that you wanted? Like right when you guys sat down on those bleachers, was there like someone you're like, damn, I want that person?
No, I think I had my eye on Austin before going in,
Okay.
so I kind of knew that, but it was interesting seeing them in person for sure. Like just seeing like things that you don't really notice on TV, like for instance, height, like things like things like that. Um, but and they're all more attractive in person, I swear. All
How
of them.
how about is Ace really 5'10"?
I think so.
Really?
there was a little bit of a hesitant answer there.
I feel like that's been a question like circling.
It has been.
Yeah.
It's not like I actually know, but I feel like depending on what heels I wore, I was taller than
And how tall
him.
are
And
you
that's
without
okay.
heels? How tall are you without heels?
5'7". I'm 5'7", so I feel like
Were you ever wearing
I don't-
4-inch heels? Well, I think we got the answer, folks.
We got to the bottom of that one pretty quickly.
That was pretty quick. That was pretty quick, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh.
when you first had to do your recoupling, I don't know why, it was something in me. I was like, no, I know that she's going to stand up and pick Nick. I really thought, and I think everyone watching thought you were going to like leave Austin and pick Nick, just because they showed us some conversation that you guys had and it kept showing us that Nick was kind of interested in you. So I want to know, was it ever a thought that crossed your mind to even pick Nick or not, and why didn't you?
Honestly, it did cross my mind because I feel like a quality that I am looking for and was looking for is like a sense of humor. And I feel like Austin and Nick definitely both have that. But I feel like something that stood out like and made them a little bit different in making that decision was I felt so comfortable around Austin. The whole situation and the feeling of being in the villa is so uncomfortable, and he's like the only person that I felt like peace when I was with. I feel like I wasn't nervous about anything. I wasn't overthinking when I was with Austin. But it was a really hard decision because typically, like, I feel like us girls always say, like, we wish we could take different qualities of different men sometimes and, like, make one. But for both of them, I liked them both for the same reasons. And that was just the only reason about Austin that stood out.
Yeah, I mean, I could only imagine being thrown into the villa and then also being a Casa girl. I feel like you're just so scared that all the other girls are going to hate you and you're already so overwhelmed. I would 100% pick the person that made me feel comfortable too. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Were you
And I
nervous?
think
Sorry,
I
keep
did
going.
not I did not know. I thought him and Amaya were good. I thought Nick and Sierra were good. So that didn't really have anything to do with making that decision until speaking with Austin later. Then I was like, I was nervous about, stepping on toes and whatnot. But it helped going in with like a group of girls. I wouldn't have had it any other way now.
Were you guys terrified, like just as being the Casa girls, of meeting the OG girls when they finally come back to the villa? Was it awkward? Was there tension?
I was excited and nervous, and I think I was the only one that said they were nervous. I think all of us were. I was just the only one that said it. But they were all so, so nice that I had no reason to be nervous. I was curious to see how, I didn't know how Amaya would react to Austin recoupling. I'm super happy that she was making other connections the entire time. I was nervous about meeting some of them, but they all like exceeded my expectations as people.
That's good because I know that Vanna went on another podcast and had said that Huda was actually a really nice girl, and that's when kind of the whole public perception of her was that she was mean and she was awful, and she had said that like Shelly wasn't that nice and that some of the girls were really mean, but you experienced everyone being nice to you?
Yeah, and especially with Huda, I asked Alandria because we basically unpacked into that dressing room in any space that we could. And basically we're taking over one of the girls' spaces in that moment. So I asked Alandria, whose closet am I using right now? And she said Huda's, and I was like, oh great. I was like, I'm so scared. I was like, I'm scared to tell her I've like took over her entire closet. And I told her that was one of the first things I said to her, and she was so cool. She's like, I don't care. And she like gave 75% of the closet to me just because I was lacking space in other areas. Like she was so sweet and so cool about it.
So do you think that's crazy to hear? Because like I said, and I know you didn't watch all of it, but the public is so, I don't even know if they're 50-50 on Huda, if they like Huda, if they hate Huda. It's like whiplash, but it's great to hear that she's actually really kind to everyone in the villa. So you think that like she's not being perceived correctly on the show?
Yeah, I would agree that she's not. I think
Oh,
she's so
wow.
sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah. She's definitely a dramatic girl. But at least when it came to her and I's relationship, I feel like in a way maybe she was like maternal like to me because I was probably the most nervous or I might be the most introverted girl that was casted, I feel like, and I feel like she kind of took me under her wing in a way.
So
That's
you
really
guys
sweet.
connected really quickly.
Hmm.
That's great. That's great. Is there any of the girls or guys, any of the contestants from the villa that you have like zero interest in speaking to again?
Honestly, no. I feel like I would be excited to see anybody, but I did not get to know like the Casa guys that unfortunately got dumped during the recoupling. I actually just basically spoke to them for the first time last night. So,
What was going on last night? Everyone was together. We just had
Everyone's in
TJ
LA.
on, and he was
Yeah.
like, I was with everyone last night.
um, Andreina and I were kind of doing our own thing. So I wasn't there for majority of the night, and then it was her last night here. So she was like, I was like, okay, fine, we'll go see them, even though it was like 2 in the morning. So that's why, unfortunately, Austin and I didn't talk for a long time. We just showed up at the very end to say hi, but I think everybody else was together for like the entire night.
Ah, okay. Was it like a house party?
Yeah.
I wonder if any new connections were made with people out. Like,
Yeah.
is
In
there
the LA
anyone,
villa.
yeah, flirting in the LA villa?
Hmm.
Ah, I don't think so.
You didn't pick up any vibes of new couples.
No,
All right. All right.
no.
What?
That's interesting though that you guys say that. Now I'm actually like,
Now you're
but
thinking through the night a little more.
I
yeah.
know. I'm like, I'm like, what about you and TJ? You're exploring new connections. I'm like, what would that ever be a connection?
No, we're really good friends. Like
Okay.
he's super sweet. He's really nice.
So,
But
Yeah, we just had him on and he was great.
what do you think about Iris and Pepe?
I think it's wild, but they're very cute. Like I feel like they're cute, but I also haven't seen the episodes. It was just shocking because of how upset she was and how saddened I feel like TJ may still be, that I do feel like their connection was super genuine.
Mm.
And I feel like from what I've seen on social media at least, Pepe and Iris were almost like I don't know, I haven't seen it, but like immediately coupled up. Like it almost took like no time.
It was pretty fast, yeah.
So I think that's like a little crazy, but I also know that Pepe didn't really have a strong connection, and I could see them being compatible.
Yeah.
Do you think part of it is got to go get in a couple? It's like nearing the end of the show, try to win 100K.
I think most of us forget that there is a like a prize at the end of it. Surprisingly, you don't really feel like you're on television when you're in there. Like I would forget all the time. So for me, I even just forgot until you said that there's 100K at the end. So um, maybe some people think about that. Yeah. Did not. I took it day by day. But I do think in that atmosphere too, like you do know that you have to couple up.
Is
Like
there anyone? Is there anyone on the show that you felt you didn't get a chance to connect with or have a conversation with, or somebody that you had your eyes on that you didn't explore besides Austin or besides that quick chat, like little chats with Nick?
Brian.
That's what TJ
Um,
said about you.
Mhm.
yeah, I think we had a lot more conversations that were not shown, and we were getting to know each other quite a bit, actually, a lot more than I think was shown. So I also haven't seen. I wish I could see. I want to see like how him and Amaya are doing, but I definitely. We spoke for a minute when I got dumped, and we talked about possibly talking when he were to get off the show. So we'll see.
Well, I guess that will tell if like him and Amaya's connection is real. If he leaves the villa
Yeah.
and he goes straight to you, we'll see what
Straight to
man.
DMs.
But he seems like a very genuine person, like with all of his connections. And I think like he was exploring you a little bit. He showed interest in you. You haven't watched it, but he would talk about wanting to speak with you while you weren't even like around him to the other guys. And he also would talk about that with Amaya. So it does feel like he's actually following good connections. And I feel like you guys would be compatible if him and Amaya don't work out.
Yeah, I definitely spent more time with Austin. Like if there were a recoupling, I would have still chose Austin, but that was probably the only other connection that I wanted to explore more.
Yeah, fair. I've seen a lot of discourse about your eyeliner on on social media, which I don't even know how you do it. It's so perfect. It's so great. But did you sleep in it? People were wondering.
Oh my gosh. Not for like what's it called? Vanity reasons. What is it? Like
Yeah, not to be in vain.
literally not because I wanted to be quite honest. There are some nights that go so late and you don't have the time to get ready like you do the night before. So I'm
You were
like,
just a
if my
prepared queen.
eyeliner, yeah, if it stays on, great. If it doesn't, great. Like I just, there's a chance it will. So I just took my chances sometimes.
I love that. I have a couple questions about just like the girl shit that I'm always so curious about. So when you guys wake up, is it immediately get glam to go like have chats and stand by in the pool? How long do you guys glam for before going to the pool?
In the morning, we did not have a lot of time. We had less than an hour for sure. It was depending on the day, but I learned how to get ready so fast, real quick, because you don't have a choice. You have like 30 to 45 minutes to get ready for the entire day.
And you guys
And
like
that includes showering, brushing your teeth. It's not just like your makeup.
holy shit.
Everything.
And you guys have no like for the girls, no glam teams helping you or anything. It's just you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are all so good. Did any of you guys have razor burn? I forgot to ask that.
Yes. I mean, I think all of us did at one point. I mean, yeah, that was
Are they
unfortunate.
supplying you with good brand razors on the island, like on the villa, or is it like those like hotel razors that you get that just always cut you no matter what?
Oh my goodness. I had my razor still. I left it at the hotel. It was a good one. So I asked for one when I got there. It was like the one single blade. I was like,
No.
oh,
Oh
I'm
my
screwed.
God.
I was
It's a
like,
bloodbath.
this is not going to be good.
Is there anything that you wish you were allowed to bring to the villa with you that you couldn't?
Yes, I think for me, I love makeup, and I use like a magnified mirror.
Mm-hmm.
They would not let me bring that. And like a mirror with like a light. Like you could see the mirrors on the dressing room table. They don't turn on. So
no good
the lighting
lighting.
kind of sucks.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we're done. We have to wrap up. We only have 25 minutes with you, sadly. I could talk about the girl stuff all day long. It's all I want to know.
Me too. I love those questions.
Right.
Well, you were awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. And I hope maybe you and Austin find each other again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Me too.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Good luck in the LA villa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.